So babes, I live in a very tropical part of the world and I've always been told that you can't grow succulents here because it is too rainy and too humid. But look at the material. I'm living proof that you can actually grow succulents in a rainy, humid and tropical country. In fact, I found growing cacti and succulents way more easier than growing my tropical plants outdoors. That is the absolute gag. Anyways, in today's video, I want to take you guys and just show you guys my succulent collection and also share tips and tricks as to how I've been able to keep these girlies alive despite them growing in a really rainy and tropical part of the world. Let's proceed. So let us proceed with this windowsill and shelf situation. One thing I love about succulents is because of how portable they are. You can pretty much grow them anywhere. They are space saving and they are very rent friendly. Because look at the material. I am growing these guys conveniently on the windowsill of my bedroom. And if you're wondering how in the heck do you close your windows? You live in a rainy climate, so how in the heck do you close your windows? Well, babes, here's your first succulent tip of the day. If you live in a tropical climate, find a spot where the rain doesn't get to them and place them there. So I'm fortunate enough that this entire corner where the succulents are, the rains don't get to it except maybe on windy days. So yeah, I don't have to close my windows and these babes get to live their authentic lives without drowning from the rain. But let's begin with this two tropical succulents, which is another tip of the day. If you live in a tropical country like I do, lean towards tropical succulents, and these two are perfect examples. So this is an African milk tree. This is the green variant, and as the name implies, she's native to equatorial and tropical Africa. A lot of people assume that every single succulent is native to like the arid regions of the world, but we have succulents that are native to tropical parts because in these tropical parts we have a lengthy rainy season as well as a lengthy dry season as well. So you need a plant that can withstand the drought during the dry seasons. The next to this babe here is a Hawaiian palm. As the name implies, this is native to Hawaii, which is in the USA. And when I first got this plant, she had a lot of leaves, but sis threw a tantrum. This is not a plant that acclimates well. Apparently, she threw a tantrum and she lost all of her leaves. But as the Lord will have it, she's beginning to bring out new leaves. It was an expensive purchase, so please keep me in your prayers and fingers crossed. And then you might be wondering, but this isn't a succulent. This is a cute pepper plant. Well, I grow this along with my succulent girlies. And by the way, this is west facing, so this place receives hot afternoon and evening sunlight. So a lot of the succulents here, most of them are actually sun loving. I found that some of them are not, which we'll get to later. And babes, when it comes to these succulent girlies, I have a hard time keeping up with their names because there are just so many different hybrids. Their names are very complicated, and these two are a perfect example. I believe these two are hybrids. This looks like a Aloe of some sort, a mix between a Gasteria and an Aloe or a Euphorbia. Please, if you know what this babe is, let me know in the comments, babes, please. And here's another gorgeous one that appears to be a hybrid of some sort. I speculate this may be an Aloe / Gasteria or an Aloe / Euphorbia hybrid. If you know your succulents and your succulent hybrids, please help me ID. In fact, you find that I have a hard time hiding a lot of these plants. I may know their genus name, but I don't know their specific species name. Please, I can't keep up. I love this one, guys. I love the color. It looks like a beautiful work of art. The deep blue color. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful sight to behold. I don't know what this succulent is. I think she's a type of cereus. She does look low-key like a booby cactus, does she not? But she's got those spikes and spines. Anyways, I learned recently from my favorite succulent creator. You're gonna hear her name mentioned a lot because she really inspired my love for succulents. The Morning Chorus, Shy is her name. And so I learned recently from her that when it comes to this blue cacti and succulents, right? Like if you want to maintain the blue hue, don't expose them to harsh direct sunlight, because if you do, they will lose that beautiful blue color and may revert to green. And that seems to be what is happening here, babes. Unfortunately, I live in a very sunny country and I'm renting, so I can't, start putting shade nets everywhere. So you're gonna have to do, babes. You're gonna have to do. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. Then over here I have another African milk tree, but I want to show you this beautiful succulent arrangement that I did. This was one of my first succulent arrangements and it's been a success so far. I'm quite proud of it. So it's a mishmash of, this is a mammarelia here and these two are agaves, and this agave has been such a long-lived succulent. I've had this for over a year. And then I added this Euphorbia, although I feel like these Euphorbias here are not happy. They want to be set free. But overall, I think this is a beautiful display. What do you guys think? I do intend to separate these Euphorbia girlies eventually, just to give them a pot of their own. Wait, and can I blow your mind? This is growing entirely in a pot that doesn't have a drainage hole. But thankfully, terracotta is extremely porous, so if you happen to live in a sunny country like I do, you can get away with growing your succulents entirely in terracotta without drainage holes in them. In the first tier of this shelf, I've got my Sansevieras. Some of you actually forget that Sansevieras are actually succulents. I feel like when we talk about cacti and succulents, we leave these guys out of the conversation. They are tropical succulents and I love them. I have a full and extensive Sanseviera tour. These guys are actually my favorite genus of plants because they're just so structural, beautiful. I could yap about them all day, but let's move on to your more conventional succulents. Check out the tour that I made of these guys. You are gonna love that video. The video is iconic. And then over here, this is, we call this a brain cactus, but it's actually an Euphorbia. Again, please, you have to forgive me. I struggle with the exact scientific names of some of these succulents. I just know their genus. I know this is an Euphorbia, and I was told that this is a slow growing plant, but in my experience, it's not. It's actually rather fairly fast growing, and I've paired it together with this beautiful aloe. I have no idea what exactly this aloe is. Please, if you have an idea, I don't know the names of these succulents. I don't know the names of these succulents, but I just know their genus. But if you have an idea what this aloe is, please let me know. She's absolutely gorgeous. Aloes are actually my favorite succulents. Now, this Euphorbia milli, you're going to see a lot of Euphorbia milli hybrids in this video. This particular one, I wish it was currently in bloom. It's currently not, but this is a hybrid that was actually made by a Nigerian gardener. I'm gonna call this Euphorbia milli Abe because the gardener's name is Mr. Abe. He's an avid succulent collector and he has a lot of Euphorbia milli hybrids, and this is one such. It produces beautiful flowers. I'll see if I can insert the picture or video that I may have of it. It's beautiful and such a shame that it isn't currently flowering. Now let's move over to an Euphorbia milli hybrid that is flowering. She is the star of the show. Oh my goodness. So one thing I love about Euphorbia milli is that they flower so prolifically in this part of the world. They are not native to Nigeria, they're native to Madagascar, but they absolutely love our weather and they are always flowering constantly. Now, if you want to get technical, these flowers, so to speak, are actually not flowers. They are bracts, which are just like modified leaves, and the actual flower is inside. But tomato. But regardless, these just love our hot weather. And I also noticed that these guys can actually take a fair amount of rain as well. I saw a picture of this when it was just this small plant 2 years ago, and just to see it now, just tall, iconic, constantly flowering, like it just fills me with so much joy.
Did plant boy?
And right behind this anti list I forget is actually one of my favorite succulents in my entire collection. This babe here, this is a monstrous type of cacti. She is so unique. There's nothing like her in my collection. I just want to give you guys a full look. Look at the material. Oh my goodness. Doesn't she look like a complete work of art? Unfortunately, remember what I said about these blue cacti? Remember that if you expose them to too much direct sunlight, they will start to lose that blue hue. And that was the case for this auntie. She was much blue than this. And you can see where she has lost some of that blue gorgeous hue. But I currently have her placed behind this Euphorbia melee to provide some shade. That's the best I can do, babes. I live in a very sunny country. There's no avoiding this evil Nigerian sun sometimes, but she's one of my favorites. I absolutely love her, and she's very slow growing, so it's gonna take years before she grows into a full iconic specimen. Speaking of slow growing, this is another arrangement full of rather slow growing succulents. So this is this astrophytum, painfully slow growing. I've had her for like several months and she's just enlarged by maybe an inch or two. This is a type of, oh my god, guys, please, you have to forgive me. The names, I'm gonna insert the names if I can ID them, but I don't know what this one is. She's also painfully slow growing too, but I think she's gorgeous. And then I've got this, my bunny ear cactus. I know this is an Opuntia. She's cute, but you don't want to go near the spines though, because those spines will get lodged in your thumbs. And then I've got my Gasteria. One of two Gasterias that I have. Gasterias are one of the slowest growing succulents in the world. And then I have this, my Aloe. I have a couple of Aloes, as you will come to notice. I really love them. They are my favorite genus of succulents. I don't know if I've mentioned that. So Aloes, Euphorbias, and snake plants. Now, this is the closest thing that you can get to keeping a jade plant alive in my part of the world. So I love jade plants. I love jade plants so much. Every single type of jade plant I love, and I've tried to grow, but they never do well outdoors in our climate. The heat, they just cannot take the heat and the direct sunlight. So I've come to realize that not all succulents can take direct sunlight. I was under the impression that, oh, because you're a succulent or you're a cacti, you can take full sun, but some cannot. And jade plants, unfortunately, cannot. So a great alternative has been this one. This is an elephant bush succulent. And that's because where it is native to in the southern part of Africa, elephants actually consume it. It's a delicacy for these elephants. But yeah, I love this one. I love it. She looks like a jade plant and she's quite unproblematic. Can take her full and intense sun. The only issue I have with her is that she grows root bound so fast. Like sis has gotten root bound already. I'm gonna have to give her a bigger pot. But she's unproblematic, iconic, and I just absolutely love her. Now this is my desert rose. You see a couple of desert roses. I have this one here and this one here as well. They are currently not flowering at the moment. This one was just about to flower and then the flower got dried off. So yeah, but they're currently not flowering. But when they do flower, oh my god, wait, I have one that is currently flowering. Look, oh, isn't she gorgeous? Yeah, so there's that. This is a pink flowering one, and this one produces yellow flower allegedly. That was what the grower told me, but I still doubt that because it has never flowered for me. Let's take a look at this tier here. This is a succulent that is actually native to Nigeria, exclusively native to Nigeria. It's not found anywhere else. natively growing apart from Nigeria, and it's an Euphorbia poisoni. Yes, now this is actually highly toxic Euphorbia. In fact, I read that where it is native to in Nigeria, it is used as a protective fence by the indigenous people because the latex can cause excruciating pain. Yeah, but that's not why it was named Euphorbia poisoning. Ironically, the person that names this plant after himself, his name just happened to be poisoning. So yeah, so quite fitting for a rather toxic plant. I love this plant. I think it looks so similar to a Hawaii palm. Look at them paired together. They look quite similar, do they not? But yeah, I bought this one thinking it was a Hawaiian palm. Later, only for me to find out that no babes, that's an Euphorbia. Now moving over here, I've got my Whalefin sansevieria, Whalefin snake plant. Actually, two different snake plants here. That's another sansevieria. That's a star rose that I paired together just to save space. And can I blow your mind? Look at this. It's just growing here, doing its thing. A stem fell off and landed here, and it just propagated by itself. And that's how easy this plant is to grow and also propagate. Now in this last tier, I've got an arrangement of snake plants. Again, I have an extensive snake plant video, so please check out that video for a more detailed tour of the snake plant and their names. But today's video is focusing on other succulents apart from these girls. And before I move to this corner, let us move and continue on to this corner here. I just love this corner. I especially love this ponytail palm. Oh my goodness, ponytail palm I love. Like, it's one of my favorite succulents because you do get that tropical vibes while getting a succulent plant that is extremely low maintenance. This is like one of the most low maintenance plants in the frigging world. Like, and very light adaptable, can take full sun, can grow in shade. I just love this one. I love it. Some of them have this very yummy codex. Look at the codex of mine. By the way, this is an hibiscus. Look at that. So beautiful, so lovely, so low maintenance. Wherever I move to in Nigeria, I will never part with this plant. It's just a beautiful plant. And I just want to show you how diverse the Euphorbia genus can be. So we have your Euphorbia miles here. Look at them, they're gorgeous. What's going on with this one? I don't know, it's like a double petal situation. So you have them here, right? Your Euphorbia miles, but you also have this one that is an Euphorbia, but just looks completely different. Look at the variegation on this. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. And just to confirm just how diverse Euphorbia can be, here is another Euphorbia. This is an Euphorbia gel. I'm going to insert the name. You guys know I struggle with the names of this succulent, but this looks so beautiful. Like, I love the leaves of this one. I feel like I can grow this entirely as a foliage plant, but it also produces these long-lasting flowers. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. I actually paired it with another Euphorbia here, another Euphorbia Millie hybrid. As you can see, this one produces small, cute, yellow flowers. Can you see that? And then I also paired it with I do this pairing thing, like it saves me space, it saves me like pots and all of that. So I paired it with a kalinkoe, flapjack kalinkoe. I think I have two of them inside here. Look at that one there as well. And there was once another Euphorbia here. It was such a cute and well looking Euphorbia, but unfortunately I lost it. She has rotted. And then I also have this aloe that I paired together in this terracotta pot. And speaking of pairings, in my bongravilla, so you can actually technically grow these guys, this bongravilla, in the same conditions as you grow your succulents, especially as they mature. they become really drought tolerant as they mature. And in fact, if you want to encourage these long lasting flowers that are technically bracts, that's the bracts there, this is the flower. If you want to encourage the blooms, then you should actually allow them, subject them to drought. Yeah, but that's by the way. But yeah, I want to show you this pairing that I did here. Like, I paired so many different succulents together here just to save space and also to save pots, having to use so many pots. And let's go through the pairing together. This is an aloe. I don't know what aloe this is, but it's so beautiful. There's something like tiger like leopard like to the foliage. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I paired it together with this Sansevieria cylindrica here. Speaking of Sansevieria, this is my Sansevieria golden flame that I added to this mix here as well. And another aloe as well. I still do not know the name of this aloe. I don't know what her name is, but I just dumped her here along with this pairing and she's doing fine. I love the blue hue to her. And there's also another aloe that I dumped here as well. So it's an interesting pairing that I love and they are all doing well. Let's move on to this corner. This is actually one of my favorite corners. Like, this shot, it just fills me with so much joy. There's a lot to delve into, so let's begin. I have my aloe vera here. I'm going to be making an aloe vera care video because you all need to know how to grow huge aloe vera. In fact, I have another one that is humongous. This is just a miniature baby in comparison to that one. I'm gonna insert b-rolls of that, but this one is here. It's always good to have aloe vera growing in your garden because you know the gel has so many medicinal attributes. Good for your skin, good for your hair, you know, helps elevate burning. And then I have this variant of the African milk tree. So this is the reddish variant. This is one of my favorite plants, babes. I love this plant. And this is the green variant. So just give this one a couple more months and she may just be as big as this. And then next to her I have this beautiful cacti. Oh my goodness gracious. So this is an example of a tropical cacti. This is native to Brazil. I think it's a serious Jamaica. But this is the most common and ubiquitous cacti you will find, or cactus rather, you will find in my city Lagos, because it can take our elements so well. Can take direct sunlight, can take rain, and she's a prolific grower. And also she's a perfect example of what happens when these blue cacti or cactus are exposed to too much direct sun. So this is the new stem. She's still blue, and that's the old one that was unfortunately has been exposed to direct sunlight the most, and you can see she's not as blue. So yeah, so if you have a blue cacti, don't give them so much direct sunlight. Give them shade if you can to maintain that blue beautiful color. I still think she's absolutely beautiful though. Now I underplanted several. This is my Portulaca. And guys, it's a miracle that we get to witness these Portulaca flowers because the lizards love to eat them. Like, the lizards, before the day has ended, Nigerian lizards will eat these flowers. That's the thing. But thankfully, this is a plant that grows prolifically and flowers very readily. I have to give it a prune because it started being rather leggy. Next to her, I paired another Euphorbia Melee hybrid. Look at this. Oh my goodness, I love this one. Look at the flowers. Lovely. And then I have this my Kalinkoe flapjack that is paired here. This is a very fast growing Kalinkoe. I think I need to separate this and move it to a bigger pot so it gets really big and fat. Speaking of fast growing Kalinkoes, there's this Kalinkoe here. Now this auntie is the most common Kalinkoe you find in Lagos because she just grows prolifically and she can take our weather elements as well. I've noticed she can take a fair amount of rain and moisture. She's a flowering Kalinkoe, but she hardly flowers. It has never flowered for me though. I'm hoping this is the year it is going to eventually flower, but Very easy, very unproblematic, very iconic. All right, now I've talked about this weird mix before. This is the Calathea that is growing in a snake plant in the sunniest part of my garden. So if you are in doubt that there are Calatheas that are hardy, this one is a perfect example. She's as tough as knives. Watch my Calathea video for extensive care guide on how to take care of them. But yeah, I like this Sansevieria. This is a very unique Sansevieria. I like how she's just growing, doing her thing. Sansevieria franciscus. I can never pronounce her name properly. But again, check out my Sansevieria tour video for an extensive look at the Sansevierias I have in my collection. Oh, then let's move over to this beautiful corner. Oh my god, oh my lord, I have this Depilia gigantea. Now, I didn't like this plant before because the flowers looked really scary and low-key irritating, but I've come to love and appreciate this plant. You rarely see it grown trailing. It's mostly grown as a ground cover plant, but I just love how mine is training, and she just looks so iconic, unproblematic. I have just grown to love her, and I feel like she's going to flower for me soon. In this my bathroom windowsill, I've got some training situations going on. I don't know why this is growing so painfully slowly. I don't know what succulent this is, but it should ideally be a fast grower, but I paired two together in a pot. They've just been growing painfully slowly. I don't know. I think, can you see the moisture level? Does this have... Oh my god. Thankfully, this can be salvaged. This is a Hoya that is doing well for me. She's not a succulent. Well, Hoyas are low-key tropical succulents at the end of the day, but let's not spotlight them. I actually don't like Hoyas. I don't know why this, I've noticed this just tends to pull for a long time. Might have to unpot that and figure out what is going on. Then I have this Sansevieria honey here. This is a different variant. This is the, just watch my Sansevieria tour to find out the exact variant. Let's not make this a Sansevieria tour video. Let me put this back here. Oh god. Oh, let's just hang on. Okay, we're back on schedule now. Speaking of Sansevierias, look at this. Look at this freak of nature. Oh my goodness, you do have to be careful with this particular Sansevieria so it doesn't poke you. I find that when I'm watering this canna lily over here, I have to be really careful. But there's a new pop here. This is a Sansevieria canary. Again, I will applaud you to watch my Sansevieria tour video, like to see all these guys in their full glory. But this is one of my favorite. This is an Agave Victoria Regini. Oh god, I love this one. I love this one so much. It looks like an illustration, like an anime illustration, does it not? So gorgeous. You have to be careful of these spines. They have poked me on several locations, so you do have to be careful. And then over here, I've got my desert rose. This is a white flowering desert rose. I feel like a lot of my desert roses are really root bound. I can just sense it, so I have to move them to a new pot. I paired it together with some Holotheas. Can you see? Oh, this one is about to flower. How nice. It's hard to see, but there are two Holotheas just growing there. I don't want to remove this because I feel like something might tumble over. But yeah. Now, on the second tier, I've got another Euphorbia Millie hybrid. I love that this one is white and it has this hue, this pink hue to the colors and the leaves. So I love them. And I also paired it together with this sedum. I used to have a full pot of these, but unfortunately they declined. They're very easy to propagate, so I just chunked them in this pot. And they seem to be doing quite fine. Here is Sansevieria. Now this one is just, so many things are growing out of this particular Sansevieria. Like you can see that she's also very root bound. She's about to explode with pops. Okay, so I'm planning another pot and kiki video, and we're gonna repot this into a bigger pot so she can grow. But I just wanted to mention that weeds have completely taken over. Look at all of this. Look. Oh, I don't know. Is this a type of weed that produces beautiful flowers? So I've just let it be. And then I've got this unusual Euphorbia. Oh my goodness. Phobia are so beautiful and diverse. I don't know the name, but she's so gorgeous. Look at the look at it. I could stare at this one all day. And yeah, I absolutely love her as well. I love Euphobias. And this is my Aloe Jucunda. This is one of my slowest growing aloes in the whole frigging world. I've had this aloe for about 4 years, and she was maybe just 1, 2, 3, but she has just expanded rather slowly in like 4 years. She's so slow growing. When the weather gets really hot, she completely like sun stresses and turns entirely red. But yeah, I love her. And then I have this other aloe. I was told this is an aloe Christmas carol. Would you believe that there's a name like that? Aloe Christmas Carol, but I don't know what it is. But this one is a prolific popper. She's about to even produce some more pops here at the back. So one thing about aloes is if you want them to get really big, you have to separate the pops. When the pops are attached to mom, they can take a lot of her energy and they just stunt her. So you have to do some separation of the pops. Here I've got another desert rose. She's not doing quite well. She was declining, so I reported her and she's picked up a bit, but she's not looking her best. My desert roses right now, I feel are low-key not looking their best. And hidden here, I've got the Sansevieria Samurai. I really like this one. I just look at her. Look, isn't she gorgeous? And there's another Sansevieria Star Rose here. I feel ashamed because clearly I have not been doing my de-weeding properly. Let me bring out this weed from this aloe. This is another aloe that I do love. Look at it. Look at it. She's bringing out this flower spike. I don't think I've watered her in a while because she looks quite dehydrated. So I'm going to remove this off camera and get rid of this flower spike. And then I've got my Sansevierias here. This is one of my favorites. I love this one. It's one of my favorites. It's a whale-fin Sansevieria. Just look at how huge she's getting, and there's new growth here, so that's lovely. I've got a Zizi that I kept here, Zizi Raven. Technically a tropical succulent if you think about it. So technically a tropical succulent. So yeah, we're pretty much done. There's this Euphorbia Millie hybrid that I really love. This one stays small and compact and produces these beautiful, long-lasting, beautiful flowers. Just look at this. So guys, we have come to the end of this tour. I hope you guys actually enjoyed this tour. It was so difficult to film because I'm filming this on a Saturday. There's construction, my neighbor, it was, oh my goodness, it was difficult to film, but I hope you appreciate this tour and I hope you enjoyed seeing my collection. If you did, please like and subscribe, and then check out my other videos as well. Just binge on my other videos on this channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.